Andrew Goodwin identified a number of conventions of music videos across all genres. One convention that we used within our video was an amplifying link between music and visuals. While in the planning stage, there were a few lyrics in the song that we decided we could directly link to the lyrics. An example of this is on the lyric "Away," we inserted a shot where both characters could be seen, but the male character turned his head away from the female protagonist. Another aspect of Goodwin's theory that we applied to our video was the development of a motif for our artist. We decided this would be a bright orange puffer coat. This motif is present throughout our whole campaign, the video, the magazine and the digipack. We used both colour grading and Photoshop to make the colour of this coat stand out against whatever background Izzy was against. Although the style and colour of this motif was unconventional, the appearance of it throughout the video and both ancillary texts mean that it was used in a conventional way. We also used a number of close-up shots of the artist to build up her star image and to sell her as an artist. However, one convention explored in Goodwin's theory was the idea that women in music videos are shown in a voyeuristic manner for the male members of the audience. We aimed to challenge this convention because our campaign was aimed at young female audience for whom we wanted to introduce an empowered, strong female artist for them to look up to. In order to do this, we used both mise-en-scène and camera work by dressing Izzy in non-revealing clothes and shot her from a low angle to make her appear powerful. The magazine advert is once again shot from a low angle to give Izzy character status. The love interest is looking at her and she's looking directly at the reader, which gives her power over him. This challenges conventional gender binary oppositions by creating a heteronormative discourse. Laura Mulvey's theory of the male gaze explores the idea that the audience are forced to regard the characters of a text through the perspective of a heterosexual male. This means that the women are represented in a highly sexualized way, which we try to challenge in our campaign. To do this, we didn't position Izzy voyeuristically, we didn't dress her in revealing clothes or portray her as weak and in need of a dominant male. The song explains about how she was happy by herself and in turn has fallen for a boy. The decision was purely hers and she hasn't been chased by a man, which is what we wanted to show in our campaign. The promo campaign is polysemic to a certain extent because our campaign allows consumers to interpret the meaning of all three aspects however they wish to. Although, due to the lyrics in the song and the clear narrative, the meaning of the campaign was relatively closed. Roland Barthes identified a number of codes that meaning is constructed through. The codes act as narrative threads that underlie music videos and construct meaning intended by the creator. Barthes' Enigma code is a significant code in our video, as the backstory and personality of the artist isn't known to the audience. Clues about the artist hidden throughout the video create an incoherent image of her, which leads to continued consumption as audiences feel the need to know more about the artist and what the video is trying to communicate to them. As Izzy sings "Falling Again," the visuals show her in a surreal location, making her look as if she is in a dream. The narrative that we created in our music video is clear and portrays the fact that Izzy is strong and independent in a number of ways, including her clothing and generally her positioning. The only element of the video which I believe could be interpreted by the audience in a different way to how we intended it to be interpreted are the shots of Izzy on the bed. It could be assumed that she is waiting for her male companion or is present after he has left her in bed. We intended this to be interpreted as extraordinary as the bedsheets were meant to create a white background to make the scene look dreamy and abnormal. We opted to create an asymmetric narrative. The lyrics can be turned into a narrative, which we decided to create, but we used other clips in the style of a home video, which were inserted throughout the video to create some differentiation and a chance for us to show some technical skill. Throughout the song, the female protagonist is slowly falling for a boy. We created this through a day where the two were together and a series of meet shots. The narrative worked well, but was regularly intercut by meet shots and camcorder shots, which created this asymmetric narrative. All shots used were conventional of the genre, and so the video as a whole conforms to genre conventions. The urban style of the video, alongside both the digipack and magazine advert, adds once again to this cohesive image. We made sure to use the industrial-looking locations and as much graffiti as possible to create links between the products and to make them more visually interesting for the audience. The magazine advert was created to run in Teen Vogue, as this magazine covered the entire target audience of females aged 13 to 18. Also, many similar artists have been at the front of the magazine and have been interviewed within it, which may result to people unaware of the artist consuming her products due to interest sparked by the advert. We designed our magazine advert over a double page spread to capture the attention of the reader. The two characters positioned on the right hand side of the double page spread is the first thing seen by the reader. Then the branding of the product and the fact that it's out now is on the left hand side. So the reader sees this after the interest which is sparked by the image. To be coherent with the other products, the image was shot by the entrance to an urban multi-storey car park, and the bright orange coat is being worn by Izzy. The font used in the digipack and the advert is the same. We correlated the colour of the font with the colour of the orange jacket to once again reinforce the brand image and the hard industrial looking font as a link with the urban environment and the strength of Izzy as a character. We chose to change this font for the name of the album I'm Yours to give the cover a softer look and ensure there was a glimpse of femininity within the campaign. The digipack includes the orange coat twice and suburban locations with graffiti, all of which are essential to the brand image that we set out to create. The star confides to Di's paradox of being simultaneously ordinary and extraordinary. This is because she is seen in many locations seen as normal and everyday by the audience, but also the lip-syncing shots and the series of meat shots that we used are extraordinary as they would not occur in everyday life.